Hey guys, Mike here at MS Tutorials and welcome back to a new video. Right guys, well I've been asked to model a drone, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to model it in Maya, I'm going to texture it and render it in Keyshot, and that said, I'm going to do that without any reference whatsoever, right? So let's get started. I'm going to start off by creating one of the supporting legs, and for that I want to have a cube that's kind of perforated, okay? So I'm going to take a regular polygon cube, hit R to scale it out, and what I'll do is I will, let's see, right click on a face. Let's try something here. I'm going to select all these faces, and then I'm going to go to Edit Mesh and Poke Face. That's exactly what I wanted. All right. Then we're going to right click, go to Vertex, and I'm going to select all the vertices that are in the center. And I'll hit 4 for wireframe mode so you can see it. Those and that one. Pretty much all the vertices that are not on the corner of the cube. Okay, so I got those selected. I'm going to go to chamfer vertices like that. Okay, and then I'm going to right click on the face and select those squares, and we're going to get rid of them. Guess I got all of them. All right, hit delete. Cool. We're going to right click on object mode. We're going to go to edit mesh extrude to give our object some thickness, and let's do 0.1 on thickness. All right, which gives it a little better look, I guess. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to right click on object mode. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate, and we're going to start to first set it up right, start to move it in this direction, and then from here we're going to bring that in right there. Okay, and then we're going to hit Shift D, and Shift D, and then we're going to pull one down, not that one. Control D to pull that down. Have to zoom in. And we'll copy one more. There we go. All right. So now that we got that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a square cube. We're going to hit R. And we're going to push that in there. First, make sure it's a good fit from this view. We're going to scale it down until it fits within that space. Okay. We're going to hit W to bring that in. And we're not going to see all of that, but what we'll do is we're going to right click and go to Vertex, drag select and bring that in here. And that section will bring out to here. There we go. And then we're going to right click on object mode, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap it to 90 degrees, hit W and bring that over. I have to zoom in, make sure it's a clean fit, bring that down, and then down here we're going to pull that up a little bit. Right click Vertex to about there. Okay. All right, not bad. It's a good start anyway. All right. All right. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to add kind of a foot, if you will. For that, what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder. And we'll hit W to pull that out and pull that down. We're going to move in, set subdivision level to 30, select it, hit R and scale that down. And let's see if I set my caps to 0. Yeah, there we go. We're then going to look at it from this view, hit 4 to zoom in. And we're going to hit W, we're going to bring that in. Like that. Okay. We're going to right click, go to face, select that face, edit mesh, extrude, hit R to scale that in. And now from the top we can see when we scale in enough. That looks to be right. And then we're going to hit G to repeat and W to pull up until it's fitting like so. Cool. We're going to bevel this edge, right click edge, double click and go to edit mesh and bevel. All right, cool. We're going to put a control knob up here. So for that, we'll take another polygon cylinder, pull that up. Let's set that to 30. We're going to hit R to scale it in. So right click object mode, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the face and we're going to select every other face. There we go. We're going to go to edit mesh and extrude. And let's increase the thickness a little bit. Let's do 0.1. That should be enough. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these faces. And just make sure I'm not selecting too much stuff here. Looks like I am. Yeah, there you go. All right. Hit 5 to go back. We're going to go to edit mesh and extrude. Hit R to scale that in. Let's have a look. Bit bigger than that. Looks good. And we're going to hit G to repeat and W to pull up. Now in this case we need to rotate the whole thing. So right click object mode, hit E to rotate, hold down J to snap it around until we're at 90 degrees. And hit W and bring that in to about there. Okay. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to put a little connective piece on the corner there. So we'll take a polygon cube, pull that out and up, F to zoom in. Let's have a look from this view. 4 for wireframe mode. Okay, that looks fine. I'm gonna right click and go to face, select that face and go to edit mesh and extrude. Pull that out. And then from this view, hit F to zoom in. And I'm gonna right click and go to vertex. Take that vertex and hit W and kind of create a slope there. All right. Then we're gonna right click, go to face again, edit mesh and extrude. Hit W to pull that out until we are over the edge. Let's do that. We're going to go to Insert Edge Loop tool, do a single edge, and do that right there. And then we're going to right click on a face, edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull that down. And let's just stop slightly above that opening there. Okay. We're going to right click on a vertex, take that vertex and kind of create a slope there as well. And let's see if we can kind of find roughly the same angle. Okay, cool. All right, now with that done, we're going to right click and go to edge. And we're going to select these edges, and especially the outer edges, because I want to bevel them. Not that one. We're going to go to Edit Mesh and Bevel, which looks all right. Cool. So now that we have that, we have one section. What we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to Object Mode, select all of it, go to Mesh and Combine. We're going to move to our top view, hit W, move that out. I guess that's about right. Yep. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the Insert key to move our pivot point. And we're going to hold down X. And we're going to move our pivot point to the center of our grid. Okay. And then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate our object, and hold down J to snap until we are 90 degrees. And hit Shift D and Shift D to repeat it twice. Okay. So we now have the 4 legs that we were looking for. We're going to worry about the body. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder. We're going to hit R. We're going to move that in a bit. And let's tweak the subdivision to 8. And again, should have done that first. So we'll try that again. Okay, we'll do 8. We'll hit R. We'll push that in. And then we'll hit R and scale that out. And let's see. Okay, that in itself is not bad. Let's just have a look from this angle here. Bring it back just slightly. Okay, so that's cool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon sphere. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale that up. Actually not satisfied with the dimension of this thing. So I'm going to hit Control H to hide my sphere. And we're going to increase the size on this guy like that. Okay. Then we're going to go to Display and Show All, which gives us our sphere. And let's bring that in so it just fits the object that we just created, like so. Okay. And then we're going to push it in and kind of make it oval, like so. All right. Scale it back in just a little bit. That should be good. And now let's worry about our propellers. First, before we do that, just add a little bit of detail here. Why? Well, just because we can. Right-click face. Just gonna select that face row. Hit 4 for wireframe mode, so I can check if I accidentally selected some stuff that I shouldn't. Hit 5 to go back. We're gonna go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. Hit W to pull that up, like so. That's just kind of cool. And then here, we're gonna take that entire row, Edit Mesh, Extrude, hit R, scale that in, and push that down. Not too much, yeah. And let's see, yeah, it's good. Then we're gonna right click at edge, double click on that edge and hit W and kind of push that down like so. Yeah, much better. Okay. So next we're gonna worry about our propellers, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a polygon cube. Let's pull that out over here. We're gonna hit R. Let's drag that out. F to zoom in. Push that in like so, and give it some width. All right. We're gonna go to insert edge loop. Let's do 5 edges. There we go. Then we're gonna go in from this angle, and we're gonna right click, go to vertex, drag select, hit W, bring that up, and bring that up some more, and bring that up some more. Okay, so it looks somewhat curved, which is a good thing. Okay, from the top view, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag select these and these. Let's hit E. Actually, that doesn't make sense at all. Let's not do that. Let's right click and go to edge. I'm going to select that top edge. Come on. That's not what I want either. What I want is these faces. Right click face, select one, and shift select that one. And there we go. Okay. So that's kind of what we're getting shape-wise. And then from this end, I can do the same thing. And we're going to hit R and we're going to pull that out a bit. Like so. And then finally, we're going to hit E and we're going to rotate that in that direction. Yeah, I like it like that. Okay, cool. So we're going to right click at object mode, 3 to preview smooth. As you can see, needs some edge loops. So we're going to go to insert edge loop tool. We'll do manual and we'll do 1. We'll do 1 at the end right there and 1 over there. Q on our keyboard, right click object mode. Come on. Right click object mode, mesh and smooth. Much better. Okay. Let's see what we got proportion wise. So we're going to hit W. We're going to move that over here. Bring that down. We're going to hit R to scale it in. Not too much. Okay, looks good. Let's hit W and bring that in. And we're going to want to have the center of our blade on this corner here. Or, yeah, that's what we want. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this over here like so. We're going to hit the insert key. Then we're going to move our pivot point and snap it to the center right there. We're going to Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and hold down J to snap. Okay, and that works perfectly. So that's 2. We're going to hit Shift D and Shift D to repeat that. There we go. And then we're going to select all 4. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine, Modify Center Pivot. We can kind of rotate that a little, right? Okay. We're going to hit W to raise that up. And they need to be connected, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon cylinder. Let's bring that out. Pull that up. Hit R to scale out and push down to, there we go again. I hate it when that happens. Let's try that again. There we go. We got our cube. Hit W, move it over. Let's do 30. That should be good. Okay. We're going to bring that up. And let's bring that to the center here. So hold down X. There we go. Hit R, scale that out. Not more than that. I think it kind of looks neat if just the points are hitting. Let's bring that down. Hit W. Yeah, maybe a bit more thickness. Hit R. And then W to bring it down. There we go. And then we need something to hold the whole thing down. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate this guy. We're going to hit R to scale it in. And W to pull that up. Scale it in some more and pull it up. Okay. We're going to hit W to bring that down. And then from this view, I have to zoom in. That's going to be sitting right there. And we're going to right click vertex. I have to zoom in and bring that in right there. Okay. Now, just to add a little bit of detail, we're going to take a little sphere, bring that out and up. And we're going to hold down X. So W to move it, hold down X and snap it. Actually, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna snap this to our vertex. There we go. And what we're gonna do there is hit F to zoom in. We're gonna hit R to kind of flatten that a little bit. Hit W to pull it up. And let's have that guy sit on top of that. That's all. Just like that. That's all there's to it. Okay. So we got this set going on. So we're going to select all the components. So our sphere, this little rod here. Okay. So we're going to go to Mesh and Combine. We're going to go to Modify Center Pivot, Edit, Delete by Type History. There we go. And now we should be able to move them around. And the best way to do that is to take our pivot point, so hit the insert key, move it over, hold down V until it's snapped into the center. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and hold down J so it will snap. One more. Yeah, there we go. And hit Shift D and Shift D. And these two guys, we're going to check manually to see if they are aligned all right. And they seem to be. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start to add some materials to our object so we can set it up in Keyshot. First, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to Edit, Delete by Type History, and modify freeze transformations. Okay. Then I'm going to select everything and go to Mesh and Separate. Okay. So I'm going to, let's try that again. Mesh Separate. It's just easier that way. Okay, so I'm going to take my blades. Because I want that to be a certain type of material. And I'm going to right click, assign new material. Let's do a Lambert. And we'll do yellow. And then we'll go through all the individual parts and we'll give them each a kind of primary color. So that will allow me to apply materials once we're in Keyshot. Okay, so I'll do a few more. Let's see if we can smooth this guy out. Yeah, it looks better. So we're going to go to Mesh and Smooth. All right. Now I want this row in here, this row, to have a different material. So I'm going to click and double click and then Shift period to increase that range. Right click, assign new material, Lambert. And it doesn't really matter what color you use as long as it's a different one. Okay, we'll take this guy. Assign new material, Lambert. Checker box, not checker box, color tab here, green. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video, I'll apply a few more colors, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, see you in a bit. Right guys, so I applied the colors to the elements that I want to have materials on, and that said, we can now select the whole thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Export Selection, and let's do an OBJ, Export Selection, and we'll call this Drone OBJ, and I'll save it on my desktop. Come on. It's lagging a bit for some reason. Not sure why. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to export that. All right. I'm just going to quickly jump to Keyshot. See you in a bit. All right, here we are. So we're going to go to File, Import. On my desktop, I'm going to look for the, where do you go? The drone. There we go. And let's hit OK. And there it is. And let's start to apply some materials. Okay. Now, first I'm going to go into my materials section. I'm going to go into the plastic section. And let's see, I want some hard non-reflective material. So let's take this black here and apply that to our blades. And I might change that in a bit. We'll see. Okay. Now I want the dome shape there to be nice and shiny. So there we go. Let's see. We'll do. Let's try this. Yeah, it's not bad. All right. Now, obviously, we're going to use some metals, but before we do that, I'm going to go in and get a nice color for this red right there. And then we're going to go to our metal section. Let's do aluminum. That's nice and light. Let's see, we've got some textured here. Let's do that for these guys. And we're going to need to scale that. As you can see, that looks a bit off. No, we're not going to use that. Let's try this. That has a pattern to it. Not too thrilled either. Just going to go with basic for now. All right. So we got that. Now let's see what we can do for this guy right here. We got a mesh, rectangular mesh. Okay, let's apply that on this material, which is actually very nice because we can see the inner structure, which is kind of cool. For our legs here, what we'll do is we'll go with a colored metal, just for the heck of it. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take basic chrome, and then we'll use the black type here, and then we'll double click on it, and we'll click here, and let's move towards blue, which is kind of cool, I think. Okay. All right, we got that. We got these black knobs on top. All right, I'm gonna use some sort of maybe black rubber. So what we'll do is we'll go to plastics. We'll go to soft rubber. There you go. Looks kind of cool. Then we've got these end sections here. These guys. And let's see, let's see what we got in the titanium section here. It looks like these guys have the same material, the corner pieces and that right there. So that's what we need to consider. And I want that to be a bit darker. So I'm going to do something else there. I'm going to go with the Exhala paint and take Blackberry Black. Maybe even, no, not that. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, not there yet. That's a cool thing about Keyshot. You can just keep on switching that around until you find something that you like. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Just give me one more sec. That's nice. Red. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, we're going to find some nice material for this section here. And what we'll actually do is we'll go into the nickel satin. That's one option. Yeah, it's not too bad. And the only thing we really need to change is what's going on up here. I don't really like that. Okay, so let's do something plastic. Let's see. Yeah, much better. Okay. So now that we got that, I'm going to change one material, which is this. I'm going to double click on that blue. And instead of that paint, I'm going to change that to emissive. Let's see, right down here. And already that's lighting up quite a bit. And we'll only be able to see how that looks once it's rendered. But it's looking okay. I'm going to change the color. Okay, let's go from there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our environment. Let's do an outdoor. Let's take that. Let's see which one looks better. That actually looks very nice. We're gonna change the background to a studio background where we set that whole thing to white. Looks kind of cool, I think. Not quite sure how the emissive material is going to look, but we'll see once we render. Okay, we'll do that. We're going to go to our lighting. We're going to do full simulation. And typically I then go back in and deselect the interior mode because it just looks better. Then we're going to go to rendering, render settings, and I'll call this drone final. We're going to use the 1920 by 1081 preset at 300 dpi. And I'm going to pause the video, hit render, and see you guys in a sec. Well, there you have it, guys. This is the final render. I cleaned it up a little bit in Photoshop, but yeah, that's it. I think it turned out okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. And that said, see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.